Hello there, students. Welcome to SMS216. This is Sebastian DiMartino speaking. I am going to be teaching you for part of the semester or for the whole semester, depending on what section you are in. I want to draw your attention to some of the most important things that you will need to know in order to be successful in this course. My goal here is to start with Blackboard and where you should be looking for information on the course and what you will need to do, again, to be successful for this semester. I want to draw your attention to this area here that we see first. This is our announcements area. This will be used by me to give you information about things that are coming up and for tests that may be in a week or so, or just to give you some information, especially to the whole group at the same time. You'll notice that there's nothing there now, and that's because I'm actually recording this video to be able to put there in the announcements so that you can watch it at your leisure. We start shortly, so we want to make sure that you are up and running and ready to go when school starts. In order to be up and ready to go, you would need to browse around Blackboard and make sure that you're taking a look at the things that you need to do. Firstly, I'd like to draw your attention to the course information. So I'm moving over here, you'll see on the left. This left-hand side is full of really good stuff and information, such as links to websites, my information, and things like that. So let's go to the course information. When I click on course information, it's going to pull up very, very important information. That's why it is under the section. First, it's going to show you what the normal course outline would look like. And in this case, the video is for summer 2020. But regardless of which semester it is, this will always be at the top. This is the course outline given to you by the college. It is a link. You can click it. It will pull up a new web tab, and you will see the current course outline. For my sections, I like to provide what we call a weekly roadmap. This roadmap will specifically lay out every week that we will be spending together and what exactly will be required of you for each week. I always recommend to my students that they should open this file up, print it out, and then you can have it, with your textbook or your notes or whatever it may be. But it's very, very important that you have this weekly PDF, because if you do not know what's coming next week or the week after, you may miss stuff. And the way the semesters are now, you can't miss things. It's just too much stuff going on at the same time. So I urge you to make sure you keep an eye on the spring summer weekly PDF. It should not change. It's pretty much set in stone, but keep it handy so you know what's going on. In this specific section that I'm videotaping for or recording for, it is actually a 6-week section that I'm responsible for. But like I said, depending on what section you're in, I may be the first 6 weeks, I may be all semester. So it really depends. Either way, it will be laid out depending on what I'm scheduled for. So that's your weekly roadmap. Scrolling down, this is extremely, and I cannot stress enough how extremely important this information is here. In order to be successful in this course, it is your responsibility to open up the student registration PDF, follow the instructions closely. I've given you a whole bunch of specific instructions here, as well as what you will find in the PDF itself. You need to purchase an ebook. You need to purchase the online resource. There is no way around this. For this semester specifically, we're using a new resource. You need to purchase it, and you should purchase it online. No, you cannot use a used registration. No, you cannot use a used textbook. This textbook has not been used before. I can't stress this enough. It needs to be purchased, and it needs to be purchased immediately. You are likely going to see this video before school even starts, which is great because it gives you enough time to get through this process and make sure you're up and running. If you notice, if you do not get this organized right away, you will fall behind. Specifically this semester, you will fall very, very behind and quickly. So you need to get this up and running ASAP. You need to buy it with the ebook option. A lot of times students, they go and they register for my IT lab, and what happens is they do not choose the ebook option because it's a few dollars more. It needs to be there. Make sure you select that option. If you encounter any problems with my IT lab whatsoever, I've also linked you the Pearson Tech Support. Now, most of these problems are on your end. So if you are struggling, you need to contact them. It is very unlikely that if you contact me and wait for a response, that I will have your answer. So please make sure the first sign of a problem, send me an email, say, hey, sir, I had a problem. I'm contacting Pearson. So that way I'm in the loop. But it is very unlikely that I'll be able to solve your problem. So keep that in mind. So what do you need to know for course information? You need to know these 3 sections. Now keep in mind, this one here is the most important. It is extremely, I can't stress it enough. In semesters past, maybe they never had the ebook, maybe they never had the software, maybe they didn't use the same textbook. I have no idea. But what I'm telling you, for this semester, if you want to be successful, you need it and you cannot wait. Okay? Perfect. So that is the course information. The next important area of Blackboard is course documents. Now I'm going to click on this here for you. I want to make it absolutely clear as well. I've done my best to try and keep every week as organized as possible for you. When you click on, let's say for example, week 1, it's going to provide you with step-by-step instructions of what it is that you need to accomplish. There is a PowerPoint presentation, and there is one of these, or maybe more than one of these, every week. That means you must go through this PowerPoint presentation. You need to watch it. You need to learn from it. When you're done with the PowerPoint, then you will log into the My IT Lab system, which you will register for. And in there, you will find all of the chapters you need. So for week 1, you're pointing to chapter 1. You scroll down in My IT Lab, you're going to see work that needs to be completed. Now in Excel chapter 1, I've also incorporated some chapter 8 common features items that you need to watch. These are just videos that give you little quizzes throughout the video. Nothing that crazy. It's just a refresher. But what you do need to pay attention to when you get into My IT Lab is that you need to make sure you watch the video for the simulation training. Watch the video, do the next simulation training. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and you keep the process going. It is very, very simple. You need to follow it. And what will happen is when you attempt the simulations, I'm going to get feedback from the system saying that you've completed it, what your score may be, and things of that nature. I want to also bring to your attention that these can be completed unlimited amount of times. And the reason for it is that if you run into trouble or you make a mistake, you can completely do it over and over and over again. When you've completed these and you've scored as close to 100 as possible, and in most cases 100 is possible, then you're going to move down to these things here. These are what we call our practice tests. When you have a real test in a couple of weeks, they will be based on this type of framework. It is extremely important that you do these and you do them to the best of your ability. These you could easily fail. There is no guaranteed 100%. These are things that you have to download to your computer, complete them, and then upload them again for a grade. They differ because these are simulations. These will open up in a window where you can actually just go through them, follow the instructions, and get instant feedback. These are not like that. These have to be downloaded to your computer, completed, and then back uploaded so that it can mark it for you and also give you feedback. I want to make some things clear about this. These are your homework assignments that will prepare you for your test. If at any time you were to complete it and submit it and get a mark, then you would be okay with that mark, you move on. If you are struggling with it, and for whatever reason you think, hey, you know what, maybe I'll just upload my friends because I'm worried that the mark isn't going to look good. You cannot upload your friends' files at all. If your friend's file gets uploaded into your MyIT lab, it's going to mark you as a violation and you will get 0. Now for your homework, not a huge deal, because if you get a 0, you get a 0. There's no marks for it. You're only cheating yourself. But I do want to bring to your attention that when the test comes in a couple of weeks, that if you dare upload your friend's file because you're just too busy, don't feel like doing the test, and you want your friend to do it for you, it will flag you, it will mark you. And what will happen is you will then be sent to the college for academic dishonesty. So please, for this work, do it yourself, make sure you're confident, and always ask me questions via email should you have any issues whatsoever with any of the assignments. I will do my best to provide you feedback outside of what the system will provide you automatically. So that's week 1. There's so much work to do. If I go back and I go to week 2, you're going to see it's the same fundamental process. Chapter 2, here are the assignments that you do first. They're in red, and then the green ones you do last, your practice tests. If I go to week 3, you're going to see a surprise. Ta-da! Excel week 3 test. It's going to be located in the MyIT lab. So this is why I'm stressing that it is extremely important that you get access to the MyIT lab as soon as possible, preferably right before the course. Don't wait for the first week to come. Get in there, load it up, register, do all of the things that you need to do. It's extremely important. All right, so how do you contact me if you need to? Well, if you go to the left-hand side, you'll see that faculty information is available. There's my picture in case you want to know what I look like. Most of you know already. This is my email address. So at any time you're having an issue with one of the assignments or just a question or would like maybe potentially schedule a conference, this is what you would do. You would email me and you would let me know. Currently, my office hours are on Thursdays, but because we're doing this semester online, I should be available other days. I just need to know in advance. Okay, so that is my faculty information. So what do? Well, now that you've got the course information, you know about the course documents, you will need to, before we start class next week or so, you will need to go to the MyIT Lab website, and you are going to need to register now. Okay, so I've made a point in the notes there on Blackboard. I said that when you register as a student, make sure you use your Seneca email address. If you choose to use a different email address when you register, then that will be important that you document that for yourself, because if you run into problems, they're going to need that email address. Make sure whatever you use, you have access to. You will register to the course based on the information in the handout, that PDF that we spoke about. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to show you under course information, there is a PDF that you need to open up. It will give you all those instructions that you require. When you open it up, it will tell you specifically what is the course ID for your section. I'm teaching multiple sections of this course, so you do not want to register in the wrong one. If you have a friend that's in another section and they give you their number, that's going to cause you a great amount of difficulty. Make sure you are following the PDF handout that you see in your specific course section, okay? I can't stress that enough as well. Once you're done the whole process of registering on MyIT Lab, when you go back to MyIT Lab, you're going to get something that looks like this. This is what you will see. Now, I'm in instructor view, so there's some stuff that you wouldn't normally see, but everything you need to know is found in your course materials. They're located right here on your left-hand side. And when you click it, now be patient, it takes time. When it is going to load and load and load, you will eventually get the following chapters. They are all organized. They are all laid out on Blackboard in what order that you need to be doing them. So keep this in mind. It is extremely important that you are able to see 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. When it comes to the tests in weeks 3 and 6 for this semester, you will see them pop up at the bottom when I give access to them. So right now you don't see them because they're not available, but they will be eventually. So just keep that in mind. One other thing that I have to stress for you is to make sure that whatever browser you're using, whether it's Chrome or Internet Explorer or Firefox, make sure that you keep an eye on your address window, because sometimes what happens is pop-ups are blocked. If you have pop-ups blocked for My IT Lab, you will not be able to open the folders. You will not be able to open the assignments. Make sure you turn off all pop-up blockers. So I'm going to click on Excel Chapter 1, and I'm going to tell you or show you what's going to happen. Now, it takes time. Mine's actually running a little bit quick, but that's okay. So here's what's going to happen. So basically, what you saw on Blackboard, what I showed you for the instructions for week 1, they're basically just screen captures of the My IT Lab. So basically what I told you, there were 3 videos with little quizzes inside for common features. Week 1, you're going to see Excel Chapter 1 video for exercise 1, and then you have the simulation training. So remember, again, I'll tell you, the simulation is going to be a pop-up that you're going to do in front here on the computer in a simulated environment. When you've completed them all, you will get down to the bottom where you physically have a practice test. Let me show you the difference. Let's see if it'll work. So I'm going to click on the hands-on exercise simulation. Now remember, if you have a pop-up blocker, it's not going to work. It won't pop up. But for me, it's looking pretty good. So basically, here's my simulated environment. And what it's doing is I can now click on enter. The instructions are over here on the right-hand side. So actually, this is really good. It says enter computer system in cell A5. Well, in cell A5, you would actually click here and you would type what it's asking you to type. In the event that you have any troubles with the simulations, the cool thing is you can actually go and take a look at the bottom where it says learning aids. In the learning aids, you can read instructions, watch video, and you can practice. So there's 3 different things that you can do. This is why I'm stressing that when you register for My IT Lab, that you make sure you choose the ebook option, because without it, you won't be able to use the learning aids, and they are very, very important. You may also not be able to do some of the tests. So make sure you do that, the ebook option when you register. Okay, so that's My IT Lab here. I'm going to clear out of here because right now I don't want to be working on it anymore. So I'm going to close it and I'm going to leave. So that's a simulation. And then what you'll notice is on the right-hand side, it says in progress. When you're actually completed, it'll give you the mark there on the right. When I scroll down and I do a practice test, it is completely different. It's not a simulation. Let me show you. What it wants me to do is download the materials to my computer. So if I were to click it, it's going to open up another window. And I'm going to want to download each file individually. Don't download all files because it's going to make a mess. It's going to give you a zip file and that's just going to cause problems. You want to download each file individually. There's instructions and the file you need to work with. You can download them, you close this. What you do is you can then work on the file. And for this one here, I could preview some of the steps. These are the instructions that you would have downloaded. So if you download them and you print them or whatever you decide, you won't need to preview. And when you're done, you're going to go here and you're going to upload your answer. See, it says upload completed assignment. You're going to choose the file that you need to upload, typically just the Excel file. And when you're done with it, then you're going to click submit for grading. This is going to give you a grade for anywhere from 0 to 100%. And what will happen is once you're done, it will give you a marked up report in which you can see where you made mistakes, if you made any at all. I have set up the system to give you unlimited attempts on these practice tests. And the reason for it is because I want you guys to do the best that you possibly can. So I've given you unlimited attempts. The cool thing is, if you look at your marked up report and you see, oh, I just made one mistake, I forgot a letter and a word, and it docked me for it, you can go in and correct that one little issue, re-upload. You don't have to do it all from scratch. So I will repeat. If you choose, if you upload a file and you didn't get perfect and you want to fix something, all you have to do is come back to this screen, upload the corrected file, submit for grading. You do not have to download it all over again. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to close this and get rid of it. All right, so I'm hoping that this material will help you out. I'm hoping that the video will make some sense. Normally, I would be doing this in class with you and showing you all of this, but unfortunately, that's not the case this semester. So please watch this video. If you need to watch it a couple times, it is there for you. And if you have any questions about it, please email me and I will do my best to help you out. Thank you very much for watching the video, and I hope you guys have an amazing semester. Look forward to seeing you online. Take care.